So there's a lot of confusion with methylene blue and what it is and what it does and what it may not do, what it's been used for. First thing, it is a dye, and it's a very good dye. It's been used for that purpose for over 100 years, just as it's been used in a medicinal and I guess you could say supplementary focus as well over the same time period. But what methylene blue is a small molecule made up of nitrogen, sulfur, and chlorine. The chlorine gives it its light scattering properties, and the sulfur molecule donates an electron to your mitochondrial process. Now, we all learn in high school for the SAT or whatnot that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, and we learn about the Krebs cycle and its stages. Now, we've forgotten about that as adults, and we don't see it as relevant, when in fact that is the core of all of our health and all of our health problems. So, your mitochondria has a process during which it makes energy. It does that for your entire body. Every one of your cells has mitochondria that do this. Certain stages of that Krebs cycle are more damaging than others, and in other stages you clean the waste products, also known as reactive oxygen species, up. So what methylene blue does, the sulfur group of methylene blue donates an electron to your mitochondrial process, which then allows your mitochondria to skip through some of the more damaging states it needs to be in to produce energy, right into stage 4, also known as oxidative phosphorylation. That's when cleanup begins. And when cleanup begins, not only can you utilize the advanced energy given to you by the methylene blue, you get to clean up all the waste product caused by it. Which, and in a normal setting, even your normal level of energy causes waste products that cause like senescent cells and oxidative stress.
So that's what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is always talking about, how we have a mitochondrial crisis.
I mean, that's the core of all problems with human health, and that's what we've been lied to about by doctors for decades and early centuries is, oh, we have a medication that can fix X disease, but all we've really done is address symptoms. As our diets have become less enriched with vitamins and nutrients, as the soil's been bled dry, as the heavy metals in our environment and all the toxins and the plastics have gone up, our own bodies have lost the ability to properly deal with inflammation and oxidative stress. Oxidative stress and inflammation are normal, but the levels that we encounter as Americans or just people in the modern world, it would be like smoking 3 packs of cigarettes every day. That's what we're all doing.
So, Rex, why is methylene blue so special?
Because it's one of the few things that you can find that addresses the mitochondrial issue blatantly. And when I say blatantly, that's a scientific term. Like if they say X product or X ingredient blatantly exhibits this effect in like a muscle or a fat cell.
It's like cyanide blatantly kills you in 30 seconds.
Well, what I'm saying is methylene blue uses...
Or if you cut off blood in somebody's carotid arteries, they blatantly die in 4 minutes.
Methylene blue is statistically significant for longevity and cellular performance. And anything statistically significant is something that an educated person should look into to better their own life and health.
I've read and experienced it myself that people that have more mitochondrial issues, I've had my genetics tested and I have some issues with that. You know, the more you feel it, it means the more screwed up you are. Is that true?
I personally take it daily, and I started taking it way before you were plugging it. And I like yours, it's great. But the thing that I've noticed since taking it is a real increase in short-term memory. And that's what I've really enjoyed from it. So I have a feeling that there are certain time periods of our lives where we may treat ourselves badly, drink too much, not sleep enough, stress, and we really damage and hurt ourselves during those periods because we're laced with all these poisons. So normally, a human would be able to recover from all these little, call them microfractures we go through in life. But nowadays, the level of toxicity is so bad that unless you have a mitochondrial health product like this, or to a lesser extent, CoQ10, PQQ, other things like that improve mitochondria.
And they go good with methylene blue, right?
They do. There are many things that do.
So overall, what does methylene blue do in the cells? It ups their electrical activity, helps create oxygen?
Methylene blue donates an electron via the sulfur group on the methylene blue molecule to your mitochondria, speeding it through some of the more harmful processes that the cell goes through to make energy. It speeds you up through to the cleanup phase, you could say.
Why do doctors tell me that it helps get toxins out of the cell?
Because That's what speeding up to the cleanup phase means. Instead of using more primitive, I guess you could call them, parts of the Krebs cycle, you get to skip forward to the part where you're cleaning yourself up.
What's the Krebs cycle?
That's how you make energy. It's your mitochondrial process.
Describe it.
The oxidative theory of aging and of really death, of how we die, is the truth. Our cells have something called a Hayflick limit, so the cell can only divide a certain amount of times before it can't.
That's the telomere lengths.
That's related to that. That's correct. But when that happens, you don't instantly get cancer like everyone thinks. Just because the cell can't divide properly anymore doesn't mean you become like a Cronenberg blob and you start dying. What you get are these senescent cells, which are like zombie cells that are benign. They're not cancerous, but that's why when you're old, your joints and your bones hurt all the time. It's because you've got all these senescent cells from all this oxidative stress that's been excessive over your life. And that's why people are so banged up. I mean, I know people in their early 20s that have fibromyalgia. It's like, how did that happen to you? Well, it's probably all the glyphosate we've been eating. Why does my stomach hurt all the time? Well, I ate a lot of mac and cheese as a kid. So, it's just all these things, all these little
atrazine,
all these little nicks and slices that we get over the course of our lives. They're amplified by the poison in our environment, and that's my thesis.
I thought my workouts have been a lot better.
Yeah, I agree with that. Well, some of your most mitochondrially rich tissue are your muscles.
That's why bodybuilders take it.
I think they take it more because they're in more of a toxic body environment, especially the enhanced ones that use drugs, and it's such a powerful cleanup agent. That's what they're taking it for. They're just taking it to clean themselves up. That's how strong it is. They're not even taking it. The performance is just another boost. That's what they use it for. That's crazy. So think about a product that's strong enough to help someone that's doing that to themselves for an average person.
And notice Big Pharma doesn't promote it because it's not.
That's right.
Not patented.
And that's why a lot of those weird niche groups that are more into kind of like the darker sides of like biohacking and supplementation, you could call it. That's why they're kind of like 10, 20 years ahead of the curve. That's what the doctor will tell you in 20 years, what that guy told you in 2010. But you didn't listen to him. Like a lot of these secrets have been known for years. I mean, they wanted to take NAC off the shelves during COVID. Everyone knows NAC, precursor to glutathione. It's an incredible thing. Everyone should take it. Brain, body, heart health.
Yeah, Rob did a really bad COVID, and it was glutathione IVs totally turned it around.
Yeah, and NAC is an easily accessible version of that anyone can get. At most grocery stores, they have it, but they try to take that away from us during COVID.
They paid Walgreens and CVS $2+ billion. The federal government did secretly to not prescribe ivermectin because they knew it worked.
I believe it.
That's evil.
It is evil.
Unbelievable. All right, thanks.